The traces of the first civilization of the earth in America and the inscription with Greek alphabet in likeness. English colonel, archaeologist, cartographer, and explorer Percy Fawcett, accompanied by his son Jack and a friend of his son, Raleigh Rimmel, had undertaken on behalf of his country to explore the unknown and inaccessible lands of the vast interior of Brazil, where at least 2 million square kilometers were still virgin land. Fawcett hoped that his journey, if he managed to complete it, which ultimately did not happen, as he mysteriously disappeared in the jungle in 1925, could contribute to the decoding of the history of the world civilization. In 1720, the Portuguese, who had advanced far into the interior of Brazil, discovered in a country where no European had entered magnificent ruins of a once flourishing city. It had been destroyed thousands of years before, and from which the existence of a most ancient advanced people in a degree of civilization equal to, if not superior to, the ancient Egyptians. Fawcett and his companions went thither to find this prehistoric city, with the object of ascertaining whether Brazil, which had once been an island, was really the Atlantis described by Plato, and whose existence was not disputed by a great body of sages. And according to Fawcett and others, Brazil was part of Atlantis, part of which sank into the Atlantic Ocean. At a time prior to this subsidence, there had been an uplift of the seafloor between the two islands, which once made up South America. Thus the vast mountain ranges of the Andes appeared. The interior of Brazil, according to the geologists, is the most ancient land, that is, among the first, if not the first, which emerged from the waters. Therefore, there should be sought a cradle of world civilization. The latest discoveries in Mexico and Brazil tended to prove that the civilization came from the west, that is, from the American continent, and then spread to Egypt and Europe. The traces of the first and most ancient civilization, therefore, were from both in Mexico and Brazil in volcanic regions, which convinced us that these first civilized countries were destroyed by terrible earthquakes and floods. Traces of this civilization had remained, and the greatest hopes of finding them were concentrated in the heart of the Brazilian jungle. There were also snow-capped mountains, which no European knew, and where, according to the traditions of a native tribe of cannibals, people of the white race lived. It's unknown how they got there. These mysterious people, according to Fawcett, were probably degenerate remnants of the first civilization on Earth. All the information until then about the ruins of a strange ancient city, ruins which were seen by the Portuguese explorers, seemed at least curious. Of the gates of this ancient city, only one still stood proudly in its place. It consisted of 3 colossal monoliths. In fact, in the huge horizontal monolith which rested on the 2 other vertical ones, which is very reminiscent of the Cyclopean walls, there is an enigmatic description. The reading of the inscription became impossible, but the similarity of the symbols with the characters of a Greek alphabet is surprising. How did this resemblance come about? A true mystery for archaeologists. Between Brazil, which part of it was identified by many with the mythical Atlantis, and Europe, where there perhaps communicated their communication in ancient times? No doubt, not only that, but migration from Brazil to Egypt was considered possible. Perhaps, in fact, the white inhabitants of the snow-capped mountains of the unknown land in the interior of Brazil bear the characteristics of the Egyptians. Therefore, in prehistoric times, while populations managed to migrate from one distant country to another, but how was this done? The traces of the first civilization of the earth in America and the inscription on the most ancient gate with the Greek alphabet add to the mystery, which still captivates and silently seeks its solution. This was from newspaper Ethnos on 15th of June, 1925. And what you see there on the lintel of the gate is Kifis, meaning Kefi, which means delight, the land of delight and beauty. And this I've translated from a Greek article for you, Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.